I recently made a video saying Black Orcs should be buffed, and lo and behold, they got a modest cost decrease, which certainly makes them a little bit more viable. This build, however, is it's a Slade classic, let's be honest. We've got Grimgor Ironhide here with an Orc Shaman, Rogue Idol, the Ragnarok Queen, 3 units of Black Orcs, 2 of which are rank 9, and 8 Peak Loons, and it looks like Morgoth's Mangy Marauders here to harass and harangue the forces of Slaanesh. There is no caster here, yes, I know, but still, it's Chaos Lord of Slaanesh on horseback with a whole horde of infantry here. We've got tons of devoted marauders of various types, pretty much all 3 types here, plus some demonettes and Forsaken, or some flanker DPS infantry units, a few marauder horsemen also scattered in and around, and the Queen's going to kick things off already with a Spiderling summon to get after those Horsemen of Slaanesh. They'll take some damage, but honestly the Spiderlings are not too much to be worried about here. It's more just an annoyance than anything else, but they are definitely doing the job of being annoying. Mangy Marauders also don't have many armor targets to shoot at. They could try and snipe this Chaos Lord of Slaanesh as he comes close. Definitely a very brave boy. But he'll take some damage and then pull back. Might have just been that the Slaanesh player just straight up forgot to bring a caster, which definitely has happened to me before, so I can't criticize too hard. Yeah, more Spiderling summons, and this is sort of going to be a way to hack this build to have more numbers, right? You can see there that it, while still at a significant numbers disadvantage, the Spiderling summons do allow a degree of flexibility and mobility. Kind of get out here and get after things. A little bit of a brain burst there, just detonating some Marauders. Does some really nice HP damage. Doesn't actually kill off any unit models, but yeah, we'll fast forward a little bit through this early game as the Slaanesh forces decide how they want to approach this absolute death ball. Slade, meanwhile, happy to sit back at least for some time while he waits for his opponents, but, you know, it's the Greenskin thing to do, to just charge on in, so that's what he's going to do here. Lumbering Rogue Idol also got a cost decrease, which, you know, for Slade just means more money for rank 9 stuff. So, there you go. 8 Peak Loon's going to be charging on in here. And Spiderling summons being eaten up around the flanks. Looks like the Slaanesh Chaos Lord tries to charge in there on the side, get a little cheeky pressure on the Mangy Marauders, but a beautiful cast of Fanatics through the front line there, does a ton of initial burst damage. More Spiderling summons can be summoned as well, yes. Summon the summons. Summon the Elector summons, please. I beg of you. Anyway. Whip Marauders here with their poison will lessen the impact of the Black Orcs, but even still, I mean, 43 weapon strength after poison's pretty serious. Chaos Lord does manage to lead Grimgor and the Rogue Idol away, at least momentarily, but yeah, Slaanesh has quite a bit of opportunity for some rear charges here, and like these Demonettes into the Black Orcs is going to be really ideal as these infantry fights kind of develop in a little bit of awkward angles, but a beautiful charge. You can call it that, by the Demonettes. Going to be counteracted by Wah from the Greenskins, and it looks like they're also about to get sandwiched from the other side by some more angry Black Orcs. So, yeah, the Morgoth's Mangy Marauders get hit with the Fascination Army ability, I believe. Yes, Euphoric, something. They got hit by something that made them go out of control, and so they're going to run off and get killed by those Demonettes. More Fanatics being cast, though. And the absolute horde of Slaanesh is going to present some issues for the Greenskins in and of itself. The fact that there's just so many of them, right? Lots and lots of numbers of hedonists and degenerates, and all must be smashed in the face by giant choppas. It is the way, of course. Scroll of shielding on those Black Orcs momentarily, helping them to tank out some of the damage from that Fascination. Very interesting stuff. Greenskins just holding out here. This is one interesting situation I did want to make a note of as well, is due to the infantry speed, you could actually like cycle charge, and in fact from Slaanesh's player it would probably be a lot more advantageous to cycle charge specifically with the Forsaken and with the Demonettes, try and cycle charge these Black Orcs a little bit so you can get more benefit from that high charge bonus and devastating flanker. Like here, you can see how the Black Orcs, when they get caught from behind by those two units, take a ton of damage on that initial charge, but then, I mean, they're still taking damage, but it starts to lessen significantly over time. So like here, it would be perfect to just peel the Demonettes up and around and come for a quick little short-range rear charge to maximize damage output there. Probably clean up those Black Orcs relatively quickly, but let's swing back over here. Grimgor and his new Black Orcs, I guess. The other two are highly veteranized, so these guys are just brand new to this little Doom stack here. And yeah, you can see those Black Orcs, like I said, are probably eventually going to lose out, but it would just be a lot more faster and efficient for Slaanesh to try and do that little localized hammer and anvil. But certainly a lot of stuff to be managing. Units coming back from route, units getting caught up on the 8-peak loons and detonated by Brainburster. Chaos Lord of Slaanesh being chased around by some lowly spider hatchlings. Queen coming in clutch, just continuing to add numbers to that total. But another fascination here. Gonna do some very solid damage and enrage this particular Black Orc. Might have been better used slightly value-wise on the rank 9 one, but still, the fact that the army ability is being used, definitely benefiting Slaanesh big time here. But the balance of power over time has just been slowly grinding in Greenskins' favor, and it will likely continue to do so. I mean, I don't really foresee any tools within the army of Slaanesh here that would be able to take out Grimgor, let alone the Rogue Idol, but we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, of course, the Spider as well is going to be a big pain for Slaanesh to deal with. Just in general, Slaanesh lacks the best anti-large AP tools, especially because their missiles are extremely limited. But just in terms of like their own anti-large monsters, you know, AP infantry, they don't really have any AP infantry besides Demonettes, who are quite squishy and can be very good in a surround on a monster, but again, they're hard to use because of that squishiness. And of course, you've got like the Soul Grinder of Slaanesh with its anti-large bonus, which is decent, but not great. Especially when you're trying to trade into something like in the weight class of the Rogue Idol. Just has a lot more HP and weapon strength, and yeah, animations are a lot slower, units a lot slower. Again, you could potentially maybe cycle charge with Soul Grinder, but of course you've also got like the Keepers of Secrets, who are decent enough, but they're not great, again, for the cost. But yeah, things are starting to look very grim for Slaanesh as they realize they just kind of lack the stopping power here. I mean, this one unit of Demonettes could do a solid amount of damage by themselves, but it's not nearly enough. You would need multiple units of Demonettes in surround to be able to take down something like this. You know, their cavalry, their AP cavalry is also decent, but again, very, very squishy in terms of the Seekers and the Heartseekers. Not really viable, again, to take out the big, high HP, heavyweight class monster. Like this Rogue Idol here is basically untouched. 150 armor base, that of course decreases over time. Then the weapon strength also increases, and it does bombard the area around the unit as well. And for low HP units like Demonettes, makes it a pretty tough encounter to survive. So, yeah, not the most serious of replays, but I'm going to be out of town this weekend, and I needed something to show you guys. And these are the 4.1 replays that I have, and this one does a good job of showcasing some of the units that got some price decreases for the Greenskins. But you guys let me know down in the comments below, how would you go about fighting a build like this as Slaanesh? Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'd have to think about it a little bit, I think. Ooh, we're going to see a big foot of Gork, perhaps. Big detonation, doesn't really hit much, but for style points, Gork manages to slam his foot just in time for the game to end. So how about that? Absolutely beautiful photo finish there. And a big thanks to Slade for the replays. Yeah, I mean, rank 9 Black Orcs, probably not generally the most viable thing, but certainly in this battle we're able to do a great job and pay for themselves. Yeah, the 8-peak loons also with some nice Fanatics casts. And then the single entities also for the Greenskins, just surviving, just tanking for the most part. Again, not to criticize too hard, this Slaanesh build would make sense in some matchups, but it just does lack a little bit of single entity killing power, and who knows, maybe he was thinking Greenskins would go with more of a horde-oriented build, which would, this build would certainly have been much better against, but against this very kind of tall, narrow build, which, again, not something you always expect, is, ended up being just really ineffective for the most part, but that's just how the way the game goes sometimes, so hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.